Hi, good morning. I'm about to have a rant. My name's Bev Hepting. I'm the Message Maestro. I work with a lot of companies to get their business message and their story really connected to what they do so people get it and understand it. And myself, I am a speaker and a good speaker, but I struggle. So I'm going to put it out there for all of you. I really struggle with this relationship building. And that's not because I'm an antisocial little person who hides behind rocks or anything like that. It's because in this day and age, I think we have the wrong definition of relationship. How is it possible to build a strong and trusting relationship with people online that you have never met? And that's the question I'm putting out there. And I've read all the things, I've even joined a few challenges and everything else, and yet I still feel sometimes that I'm coming across as a creepy stalker in trying to do follow ups and maintain relationships and build trust. The thing is, unless you've spoken to me or met me, you can't really ever trust what you hear or see online. We have all fallen foul of those follow up things, and I'm sure some of you can identify with this, where you get these lovely introductions to join on social media, or you've been on somebody's email list because you've downloaded a freebie and it's been really interesting and you've followed through and you've joined a webinar. And then there are all these claims of amazing things going on. And that sounds great, but in the first couple of years, that gets you all excited. Well, I'm 3 years in now and I'm becoming a bit jaded. I really am, about the promises that people give online. And I look at testimonials and I go, is it really? And yet we're supposed to use testimonials as a means of trusting people. I look at the work they've done and it's fascinating work, and I will follow them and say that was great and I love that article and this, that and the other. But to be absolutely honest with you, it's the people I've met, the people I have talked to, or at least had a virtual coffee with, that I'm able to make up my mind that I want to follow them and trust them and work with them. You see, I have very little time to pursue these relationship things that you're supposed to do and the networking and everything else, because I'm actually doing the work and I'm actively out there speaking to people as much as humanly possible. And I've got to a point now where I don't speak at local networking events and I rarely speak for free unless there's something in it for me. And those of you out there well, all of you speakers will understand that there comes a point when you have to look at it in terms of, what is the investment either of my time? Am I likely to reach clients when I go and speak? Am I likely to get the outcome I want? And if not, why would I be traveling hundreds of miles to speak for free that is not doing me any good? And when you start getting paid to speak, it makes that divide even more. And I have to be really invested in whatever the theme or the subject or the people are for me now to go out and do it for free. I even have to be invested in fairness when I'm offered payment to go, to make sure that audience is the audience I want to speak to, who are going to engage with my message. So it's not about speaking for speaker's sake. And I look at it all and I think, well, you know what? I've got lots of people I have networked locally. I have a lovely, lovely supportive local network and people I love and I trust. I'm never going to work with them. I don't know really why, but for some unknown reason, I don't feel they really get me enough or what issue I have to work with them. Yet I've met strangers, and they were strangers at events and things. We've got talking and we've built a rapport and we've had a laugh and I've gone, yeah, I'd work with them. I'd work with them because I've met them and it's about how we have connected. Well, you can't have that connection when you're just doing it by responding to LinkedIn requests or Facebook requests and you're posting and things. And I'm sorry if all you marketers out there are screaming at me going, I'm obviously doing it wrong, and maybe I am. Doing it the way everybody tells me I ought to do it is incredibly difficult, because what do I say to somebody I've never met? Apart from, wow, your website looks interesting, I love the work you're doing, let's meet soon. It's meaningless. Or I have actually sort of connected with people and said, let's have a virtual coffee, let's have a chat. And the minute we do, they start trying to sell me something, instead of letting me get to know them or them get to know me. So there's a lot of stuff going on the internet that makes me jaded, and I bet if it's making me jaded, it's making everybody else jaded. So I'm going to put it out there straight. I tend to be, here I am and this is what I do, and if you want to work with me, brilliant. If I'm interested in what you do, I'll get hold of you. This is no different to the guy that rings me up and goes, you need new double glazing. And I say to them, if I need new double glazing, I'll pick up a phone book and I'll find a double glazier. I don't talk to people who sell to me on the phone. The internet is getting too busy. And I hear lots about disruption. There's a whole thing about let's disrupt this, let's disrupt that, let's do this. Are we really disrupting in terms of creating relationships online? Is it possible to create relationships online that are deep relationships that mean people are going to work with you? If you haven't actually had a conversation with them, either online, through Skype or Zoom, or some way where you're able to find out if you have that spark that makes you want to work with each other. I have a very small, very close-knit group of personal friends and my family that I expend what energy I have, time I have left into them. I don't actually have the time and sometimes the inclination to have coffee with every person I meet locally, which is one reason I don't tend to network locally anymore. So I'm going to ask you the question, am I right to a degree, or do you think actually this rant means that I just don't get it? And if I don't get it, then what do I do next? Except trust my instinct, trust my voice, and trust that I can only work the way I want to work within my business. If that goes against everything everybody else is doing, so be it. And if I connect with people who've accept the fact that I've said to them, look, I'm sorry I haven't had time to build a relationship with you. This is what I'm doing. If you're interested, let me know. And it's not about spamming. It's not about cold calling. It's not about any of that. It's about reaching out to people who may need what I do in the same way that other people do to me. And if I get a no, I get a no. End of story. If I get a possibly, we have a virtual coffee, or then we might have a coffee if they're local enough. I'd love to know what you think about this. I would love to get your insights. Because as a speaker, I connect very clearly with people. Really clearly. Virtually online, when I'm writing posts and emails and things, not so much. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have the same issue, or you just think I'm talking complete. And I'll accept that every time.